Do you have any memories of the match you had against Shawn at the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, that was the other thing. That was the other thing I said. I got to believe Curt on this. We'd gone around, getting the match down for the Rumble, which is what he did back then. He put you with your guys so you get it down really good before the pay per view.
Yeah.
I got to burn it up now. It was offensive. Shawn and I were having matches that the agents were calling back and telling Vince, because they always reported back, and they were telling Vince that these matches they're blowing the show away. They're unreal. They're still in the show every night. And we worked 6 years, 7 years together as a team, and it got to a point where we could just look at each other and know what we wanted to do. We didn't have to talk. So it was the same way when we were working against each other. We could tell. We look at just the expression. Sometimes the any expression is almost like our minds connected. We just knew what the other one wanted to do. And we got it down to Denver, our town again. That was the single best match I think I've ever had a point at one match. That one night was the absolute best one match of my career for me. It was 20, 25 minutes. And from the opening bell, because we jump started, from opening bell, 25 minutes later, we did not stop. We didn't slow down. And, we'd always hear about the thin air in Denver. I never really noticed it till that night. I mean, all those years of going there, that thin air thing was, to me, it was like, bullshit. That night, because we just had it going. And, connected again, like that connection with the people. It was like a magic. It was like magic again. It was almost like our bodies were there, and that was it. Somebody else was making them move and do what they were doing. I remember about 20 minutes in or something, Shawn and I both kind of looked at it like the wind, and I think this was one of the first major times it fed off the energy of the people to where, because we were like, at least I know in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I'm out of gas. The air's got me. And we still had a good 5 minutes to go. Where we were in a match where we had to get to. And I remember thinking, I was almost going to panic because we'd burn it down at that point. Don't want to fizzle out the last, and two, I was panicking because it was burning, the lungs were burning, the air, breathing so hard. This thing, it's like, oh shit, what's going to happen? And it was the people were so connected, and that man was so into it. It was as if their energy that was all focused in the middle of the ring was what put us on autopilot. As far as we're going, or in front of my kids, I was going off their energy. They were feeding me the energy to continue the going. And when it was all said and done, done. I remember walking in the back and just kind of like collapsing over the corner after the adrenaline's gone. You're like, oh God. I remember Blackjack Lanza coming over and just saying, never seen nothing like that, kid. And Shawn and I remember us hugging and thinking that's what we want tomorrow night. It was the next night, it was the night before in Sacramento. I think it was the Rumble there. And, Shawn said, that's what we want. That's what we got to do. Duplicate that tomorrow night. And so, come the Royal Rumble, we've gotten our match down to a damn T perfect. Let's interject Sherry now. We're going to put a spot here. We're going to put a spot there. It just threw off the entire rhythm of everything we just built up. And I think, I had a late night. Honestly, did have a late night that night before the show. Real late night. In fact, I don't know if I went to bed until about 6 or 7 in the morning. And then we had to be in the building at 12. I think actually later. I know it was daylight. And I won't lie about it. I was up late. I was cutting up some girls until real late. Then I was beat, and I was dead ass tired. And you have to be there all day on the pay-per-views or your TV tapes. You got to be there all day. So I come in, and like as always, there's nothing unusual. I came in, laid down, take a nap, just like there's 60 guys there, probably 30 others are doing the same thing. And somehow or another, the match, of course, didn't go. I know I missed a couple spots on it. Sherry's thing threw the timing off. a little bit from what we had. Not saying that's what caused me to forget my spots, but I mean, what we had, I mean, I had no problem with that. But just throwing that in and me being tired, I did. I mean, I remember a couple of times. I mean, once in particular, he was screaming at me like, "No, get over there," whatever. And I don't remember what it was, but that turned into. The next day, Vince called me. The next day was a TV taping, regular taping, on that Raw, whatever it was. Called me in the office, or in his little, where he was making his office there. Said, "Already gotta let you go." And I'm like, what? Oh, after that match, too. I mean, it wasn't what we could have done, but it wasn't horrible. And Vince, I remember walking up, and Vince calling me and Shawn over, which he'd always praise our work always. So I'm thinking he's going to say something nice, and he walks up and goes, very disappointed with that match. And I'm like, oh, damn, it must have been a lot worse than I thought it was. And he was like, I've been hearing how great you were, and I was expecting you guys to steal the show, and quite frankly, that was far from it. I'm like, I'm thinking, damn. So, that next day when he calls me in and he says, he's letting me go. I'm like, what? You let me go? He said, I said, you're letting me go? What do you mean you let me go? There's nothing you can say. Well, the decision's been made. I've got to let you go. And I'm thinking, because of the matches, I said, you're going to let me go because there was a bad match? You need to go out there and fire everybody out there. It's about half your guys. If you go fire them for a bad match, he goes, the fact of the matter was I was told you were drunk in the dressing room. So now, because I was sleeping, I was drunk. And I had a special clause in we were drug tested and steroids and all that stuff. I even had drinking added to mine because I got a couple, spats with people when I was drinking. So they said, you don't need to drink, but you on a no drinking thing. And so, I said, Vince, test me. If you think I've been drinking yesterday, I'll show up today. Test me. Because no matter what you say, the decision's been made. So, I was like fucking heartbroken, I just did 6 months that I missed. Now I'm back for 2.5 months, and now he's never letting me go again. He's letting me go. He didn't actually let me go, but I'm gone again. So, I was really, that crushed me because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why we didn't let go because the match wasn't what he expected. I thought the being drunk in the dressing room, I didn't believe that. I thought that was just the excuse he was given. And, remember, I think Al Snow took me to the airport, but I think I was damn near part of crying because I couldn't understand it. And so I went home and just said, I did get drunk and stupid for about 2 months. And did a lot more than the stuff I should have done. Spent a lot of time in the hood doing stuff I shouldn't have done. But it hurt me so bad. I was just trying to drown the pain. And then one day, Curt Hennig calls. One evening, I was at home, and Curt Hennig calls. And Curt and Vince got along real well. I guess Vince had him up to his place a few times. And Curt's cool. You have to love Curt. And I think Vince really liked Curt. And they were riding, I guess, one night in the limo to one of the towns. Curt was telling me, he says, Marty, I got your job back for you. So I'm thinking, fuck you, Curt, man. I don't feel like playing about it. It's not funny. He goes, no, I'm serious. You're going to get a call. I got your job back. So what are you talking about? He goes, well, here's what happened. He goes, Vince told me what Shawn did. I'm like, what do you mean what Shawn did? He goes, well, Vince told me that Shawn told him that night at the Royal Rumble he had to lead you around by the nose because you were drunk in the ring. So, and then Curt says, and I'm like, I'm not knowing how to take this. Is Curt messing with me? Is he ribbing or, but Curt continues. He said he told Vince, he goes, that wouldn't, said Shawn, if anybody was screwed up the night before, he had passed out from the somas or something. He'd passed out in his food right in the restaurant. They had called the ambulance because they didn't know what was wrong. And so whether or not Vince looked into this or just took Curt's word, or if he looked into this ambulance having to come or whatever, the way I understood it from Curt was Vince was bringing me back to beat Shawn as punishment to Shawn for that whole deal. That's what I heard from Curt. I don't think I ever asked Shawn about that. I don't think I ever once said, did you go tell him that, I was drunk in the ring and you had to leave me around? I didn't know. I don't think I even ever asked him. It just kind of, it was like, I didn't know how to take it. But that's when I come out of the crowd. If you remember, when he was in the ring doing his thing, making a challenge to anybody, anywhere, and then I come down with the hood thing.
On Raw, right?
Yeah, on Raw, and beat him for the title that night. that's what that was, how that all came about. According to Curt, I never questioned it. I never went to Vince and said, hey, this happened. I didn't go to Shawn and say, this happened. That's what Curt told me. I don't think, Curt ribbed a lot, but at the same time, something like that, I don't think so I got to kind of believe it.
Do you have any kind of contact or relationship with Shawn nowadays?
No, I think I called him a couple years ago, maybe, before he had signed somebody over in England or something that worked for it. They wouldn't know how much he could come over for. So I called him and he told me, nice. I just signed a 3-year deal with WWF for things.
Yeah.
And
do you have any ill will towards them now?
Do I?
Yeah.
No. I just no ill will at all whatsoever. I mean, I think I wonder there was I think I told you we were talking about this. There was a time when he called me once, and this was when I was living in Clearwater, so I think it was '99, when he had his own little thing down in San Antonio. He had called and asked if I would be interested in doing a rocker reunion for his little territory. He thought that would get a good reaction. And, I was all, I said, yeah, all for it. And he said, we can fill it out here, see how it goes. And, if it's good, I can take it, tell Vince to take it up there. So, of course, I was all for that. And ever since then, I've been for that rocker reunion thing. But from there, like I told you, then I get a phone call from him one day. I think he was doing a personal appearance somewhere, and he asked me, how much was I going to charge him to come in. And that was, I don't know how to tell Shawn what I'm going to charge him. That's my buddy from 7 years working together. We did all this. You ain't got to pay me, really. So I was telling him, just pay me whatever you want. I don't care. I ain't going to give him a number, If he wants to pay me whatever, or if he just said, just come in, my budget's tight, can you just do it? I'd done it for free. But that's what I was getting at. I don't care, Shawn, whatever you want. And somehow, I think this was in his days, back when he might have been still partying, somas or whatever. And I'm thinking somas just because of the slurring. He was slurring real bad. And he kept saying, he goes, what, you don't want to do it? And I was like, no, I ain't saying that I don't want to do it. I just pay me what you want to pay me. So I know budgets are tight and small indie things, so don't worry about it. Just whatever you want to do. He goes, so what are you, he was slurring. So what are you saying? So you just don't want to do it now? I didn't know what, I ain't saying that. I don't care what you pay me. Just, I don't care. Just whatever you want. Well, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. And that was about the end of that. And so it never happened. He never came in there, and Paul Diamond was booking for him or whatever. He called me and said something. What'd you do to Shawn to piss him off? So I didn't know I did anything to piss him off. Basically, I guess I was telling him it didn't matter what he paid me. I guess I pissed him off.